How we doing? How we doing? I'm back. Part 2, the 6 best suburbs for single people living alone in Denver. Let's get to it. This is Destination Denver, Colorado. I am your host, Jimmy Everett. And listen, if you're interested in learning all the ins and outs, pros and cons to moving to or around Denver, Colorado, then this is the channel for you. So that subscribe button and notification icon popping up on your screen, make sure you click on that as I'm dropping new videos for you each and every week. And listen, as much as I love being out here, having little kids to my left laugh at me for being a goon on camera, I'm also a licensed mortgage expert covering the entire state of Colorado and teamed with some of the city's most talented realtors. So the number and email popping up on your screen, I'm always the person answering your phone calls, answering your texts, answering your emails, there when and if you need me. Now that we have that fun-filled stuff out of the way, let's get to part deuce, the conclusion of the 6 best suburbs for single people living alone in Denver. All right, so the first suburb on our list today is Arvada, Colorado. Now, Arvada is just northwest of Denver. And one thing to be very clear on in the beginning is that Arvada, geographically speaking, is a very large suburb. And as I'll say on just about any video or anytime I talk about Arvada, there is an area of Arvada we call Arvada, and then there is an area we call Farvada. Because even though it's geographically speaking, maybe 10 minutes from one side of Arvada to the other, drive time could be 30 to 35 minutes just because of the roads you need to take, traffic you might hit, just the way you have to route through there. So the area we want to focus on as far as Arvada is closing in on Old Town Arvada, which is kind of on the southeast side of town. Now Arvada, as of the making this video, sat at a population of about 119,000. Median home price there is $384,000 because you have plenty of townhomes, condos, detached family homes to look at, and then your average rent is going to sit around $1,350 for that one bedroom. So what makes Arvada such a great place to take a peek at? Well, once you see Old Town, you're going to get it pretty quickly. So we'll start with Grandview Avenue and Old Wadsworth. So these two roads, at some point, the town decided to close them off to traffic. So they're blocked off for people to walk the streets, sit outside at picnic tables. You can enjoy the amenities of the restaurants nearby. And there's some really cool restaurants in Arvada, ice cream shops. Like, it's the type of place where there's always people out and about spending time together. It's very easy to meet people, very easy to socialize. And of all the places where I have helped people move, Arvada, and specifically the people that live around Old Town Arvada, rave about it, sometimes at nauseum, sometimes they go a little overboard, but there's just always something to do in that community. So they've got the Arvada Tavern, they've got the Bluegrass Brewery, they've got the Denver Beer Co., great place, and then they have the schoolhouse. You have to check out the schoolhouse. It was legitimately an old school back in the day, which was a Wednesday, as I like to say, converted into a bar and restaurant. A lot of size to it, a lot of history, a bar that's filled with anything you could possibly want to drink. Food is pretty good as well, and it's right in the heart of Old Town Arvada. And they also have scrumptious ice cream on Grandview Avenue. And yes, I know that maybe talking about ice cream doesn't really have anything to do with living alone or being single, but I don't know, when you're lonely, you eat ice cream. So number 2 on our list today, and number 5 overall, is Golden, Colorado. Golden is due west of Denver, just straight up 6th Avenue. Actually where I am right now. I could spin around a little bit and you can see Coors Brewery, a nice park, and there's a place called the Golden Mills right back there where I am probably going to end up after the filming of this video because they have some amazing beers on tap over there. So Golden, I mentioned, due west of Denver up 6th Avenue, but it follows the Table Mountain Gap. So it's kind of a weird one as you look at Google. It stretches west a little bit, slightly north, but it kind of weaves through the Table Mountain Gap. The population of Golden sits just under 21,000 right now at 20,700. The median home price sits at $522,000. Average rent sits around $1,585, depending on the website you check. I saw a lot of fluctuation there. Now, I'll tell you up front, Golden is going to be one of the cooler areas you're going to check out, especially the downtown area along Washington Avenue, which is maybe within a couple minutes of where I am right now. So Washington Avenue has this long walkable, it's probably 6-7 blocks of restaurants, shops, art galleries, some of the best wood fire pizza you'll find, a couple good breweries, a little bit of everything to do here. And Golden also runs along Clear Creek Canyon. So what you're gonna find is that the city has taken parts of Clear Creek, they've put in great parks like you see behind me with people inner tubing and kids playing and all that good stuff. So, but they also built these great townhomes, these great condos and apartments along Clear Creek Canyon. You got great views, you're right in the heart of Golden. So much like I mentioned with Arvada, there's going to be a difference. There's parts of Golden where you can be out there. You can be 40 minutes from downtown Denver. You can be 10, 15 minutes away from even the heart of Golden. But if you're anywhere near downtown, you have all the amenities that you need for a fun town. You've got the Colorado School of Mines here in town, so a great college town as well. That happens to be something you're thinking about school-wise. So of all the places you're gonna check out, Golden tends to be one of the more popular places for people to explore, check out. Much like in that first video, I talked about the Denver Tech Center and some of your price point issues there. The Greenwood Village and the Tech Center are gonna be on the high spectrum. Golden is our second highest on the list because of how popular it is for people. And the friends and clients that I've had move here, the things they rave about. I mean, you're in the mountains. Golden is a mountain town. So you're out walking your dog, very easy to meet people, a lot of biking, hiking, people getting out on tubes. That's one of our favorite things to do. Grab a couple inner tubes, go up the river, go up the creek, float down, get you some summer pops, some summer shandies, if you will, enjoy a day. So it's a great place to meet people. And then if you want to shoot down to Denver, you're 20 minutes away, not a brutal drive, pretty easy to get around. And if you're gonna come to Golden, you gotta check out the Buffalo Rose, which is a great music venue, and they've also got a great bar. It's just up Washington Avenue. And a cool thing, one of my favorites, is Miners Alley, which is just this really short strip. It's next to a parking lot, so it's not really an alley anymore, but they've got a speakeasy over there. They've got a brewery, they've got a sushi restaurant. So Miners Alley is a good place. Write that down, check it out. And third on our list, and number 6 overall, and I'm gonna take some grief for this one because I also have it on my list of worst places to live if you're single and living alone, but it's Highlands Ranch. And this is why. So when I talk to people about where should they consider living, where should they go if they're, if you're living alone, if maybe you're in a new town, you wanna meet some people, Highlands Ranch was like the polar opposite opinion of the people that I spoke to, of clients, of people in different stages of life. So Highlands Ranch is, when you think about like the definitive family suburb, that was built, they started thinking about it in the 80s, started being developed in the 90s. They took 22,000 acres of Douglas County land and they built this planned development with the shops and restaurants and homes in specific orders. They thought it all through. You don't see anything like that prior really to Highlands Ranch. Now with that came this idea that Highlands Ranch is it's the quintessential suburb. You have like a bit of maturity, if you will, living out there. So this is what I found. When I talk to people about living out there single, I found that my young professionals just getting out of the house, adventuring, figuring out life, Highlands Ranch was near the bottom for them in their opinion and in their voting. But the people who, I don't want to age myself, but the people who are my age, the people who might have been in long-term relationships before, the people who might have been married before, the people who might have children, they thought Highlands Ranch was an excellent place to explore because of the fact that they would be around people who might have had similar life experiences to them, and they might have met people who had similar life situations. Take that as it may. So I said Golden would rank as the second most expensive place on my list. Highlands Ranch kind of gives it a run for its money depending on your living situation. So the population of Highlands Ranch sits a little over 105,000. Median home price there sits at 467,000. I assure you, you're going to find some homes that are well above that price point. It's one of the most desired areas, especially for detached homes, that you're going to find. You see that cost basis when it comes to the median or average rent price in Highlands Ranch, which sits around $1,900, again, depending on the website. You're gonna pay a premium to live in Highlands Ranch. But along with that are the amenities. You have hiking and biking trails all over the place. You have restaurants, you have shops. I mean, they really thought it through. Highlands Ranch is a community where they wanted you to have everything you need right there at your fingertips. You're a bit of a drive. Highlands Ranch is south of Denver, a good 35, 40, 45 minutes. Probably, if I'm being honest, 45 minutes from Denver, and that's without traffic. So it's going to be a community where you've really got to enjoy it. You've got to enjoy the neighborhood, enjoy the community, and they've got some really cool places to check out. They've got Old Blinking Light. They've got Indulge Bistro. I really enjoyed that place, some good wine. And then if you just need to crack some beers, you go to Rock Bottom Brewery. I like to take clients there because it's easy, and if they drink beer and I drink beer, then we drink beer, and who doesn't get along when they drink beer? So realistically, when you take a look at these places, when you look at Arvada and Golden, you're gonna be pretty close. You're gonna have your amenities there, a lot of outdoor activities, a lot of things that you can do to meet new people, to experience the town you're living in, and you're close enough, pretty easy to shoot down to Denver and enjoy anything going on there, sporting events, concerts, what have you. Highlands Ranch, like I said, that's gonna be a specific cup of tea. I think some people are going to look at that area, they're gonna absolutely love it. You know, price point there, I told you, is a little higher, and the cost of living in Highlands Ranch is about 17% higher than the Denver average. But I think that's what you're gonna find in Highlands Ranch. You're either gonna love it, you're gonna hate it, and if you're somewhere in between, you're probably gonna end up somewhere else anyway, as far as neighborhoods and suburbs to choose from. But listen, maybe 6 wasn't enough. Maybe you haven't even watched part 1 yet. I suggest you check that out. In the meantime, the number and email popping up on your screen, I'm always the person, answer your phone calls, answer your texts, answer your emails, there when and if you need me. This is Destination Denver, Colorado. I am your host, Jimmy Everts. This has been the 6 best suburbs for single people living alone in Denver, part 2. Until I see you next time, peace.